Hello, welcome to another Guardians of Wiltshire video. I'm your host Dewi, and this week on Send Forth All Legions, the assault upon Helm's Deep. With the Rohirrim having fled to Helm's Deep, Saruman gathers together the full force of his armies to him at Orthanc. As an army of over 10,000 fighting Uruk-hai stands before him, Saruman commands his forces to march to Helm's Deep and to war against Theoden and the Rohirrim that defend its walls. The army that Saruman unleashes upon the world of men is made up primarily of his Uruk-hai, strong and heavily armoured warriors that care little for anything other than the wars for which they were bred. Possessing great endurance, their relentless march towards Helm's Deep is swift and unimpeded. The Uruk-hai's need for battle driving them forwards. Among the ranks of the Uruk-hai are groups of berserkers, Uruk-hai that have been whipped into a frenzy to the point where their only thought is slaying those in their path. Covering themselves in blood and shunning the protection of armour, these warriors are among the deadliest in Saruman's army. Commanding the assault upon Helm's Deep in the absence of the White Wizard are captains of the Uruk-hai, the strongest and most vicious among the ranks of the Uruk-hai. There are few who can match these fighters for sheer power upon a battlefield, and the strength they possess can cleave bone, armour and weaponry in half with frightening ease. It is not just thousands of Uruk-hai that Saruman has unleashed, for the Uruk-hai bring with them the White Wizard's ultimate contraptions of warfare. Huge ballista fire great bolts towards the walls, shattering stone and using great ropes to raise the ladders up to the battlements. The teams of Uruk-hai bring demolition charges into the battle, exploding them in order to break stone and cause massive casualties. The army of Isengard is one of immense power with a single driving force, to end the world of men. So, we'll go straight into the army composition. And first up is an Uruk-hai captain, and he can take a crossbow, a shield, or a two-handed weapon. An Uruk-hai shaman, who can take armour. An Uruk-hai warrior, who can take a banner, a crossbow, a pike, and a shield. An Isengard troll, who can swap a sword for a spear, or can swap a shield for a war drum. You've got an Uruk-hai berserker. You have an Uruk-hai demolition team, and you can equip one of the Uruk-hai warriors with a flaming brand. Or an Isengard assault ballista, who can take an additional engineer captain, additional crew, or superior construction. So, no named heroes, and a small selection of troops, but you'll see that they are very, very adept at doing what they do best. So, additional rules. An assault upon Helm's Deep force must have an Uruk-hai captain as its leader. Makes sense? It's the Uruk who stands on the rock. Apart from that, there's no more additional rules. So we'll move on to the special rules. You do not know pain, you do not know fear. The forces of Isengard have been commanded to fight on to the bitter end. Friendly Isengard models do not start to take courage tests for being broken until at least 66% of the forces models have been removed as casualties. That's really, really good. You still can see the VPs for being broken, but you don't have to take the courage tests. Having played with Isengard and with this Legion a little bit, it's a really, really handy rule. You just keep going. You just keep going. It means guys on objectives don't run away either, which is amazing, which is half the battle with objective-based scenarios. Commander of the Uruk-hai is the next special rule. Those that command Saruman's forces are the strongest and most brutal Uruk-hai, and there are few who can wreak as much destruction as them in a fight. The Uruk-hai captain chosen as your leader increases their attacks and wounds characteristics to 3 each. This is cool. It means suddenly you have a really threatening 3 attack, strength 5, fight 5 hero. This is really handy for anything that is fight 5 that doesn't have strike. That's the only thing this list lacks. But with the demo team and the ballista, that's not necessarily a problem. Next special rule, the Isengard hordes. Saruman has sent his legions to Helm's Deep, an army consisting of huge numbers of Uruk-hai. hero models from this force increase the number of models they can include in their warband by 6. This means you can really pack in the numbers. Uruk-hai captains can lead 18, and shamans can therefore lead 12, which is actually really helpful. Shamans being minor heroes can be really frustrating. Wanting to drop them in your lists, but not being able to can be awkward. But this completely negates it. Break the walls, my personal favourite special rule. Saruman has sent his most devastating weapons of war to break the impenetrable walls of Helm's Deep and secure victory. Isengard Ballista from this list may reroll to hit and to scatter rolls during the shoot phase. Additionally, whenever a demolition charge from your army is detonated, you may roll twice rather than one, 2 dice rather than 1, and pick either result. Apologies. This is awesome. Having the ability, essentially you get a similar upgrade to what the troll gives Mordor, and the percentage chance of percentage chance to hit is now up to like 75%, and to scatter when they only scatter 3 inches anyway is amazing. For the ballista, and then the demolition charge. Having 2 dice to get to roll on the demolition chart, and you can pick either result. So you could roll 2 dice and get a 1 and a 4, and you can pick the 1. So therefore, next time you get your +1 to your demolition charge explosion, which is incredible when you get the 2 dice as well. But if you manage to get that 6. The output of these demolition charges are phenomenal. In practice games I've seen 8, 9, 11 wounds when these things go off. They're just phenomenal. So I'll move to the designer's notes. The assault upon Helm's Deep Legendary Legion represents the legions of fighting Uruk-hai that Saruman unleashed upon the fortress of Helm's Deep. It contains all of the Uruk-hai warriors, berserkers and war machines that Saruman was able to muster to take the fight to the Rohirrim. Whilst it doesn't contain any named heroes, the Uruk-hai captain that becomes your leader will increase their attacks and wounds to 3 each, making them a deadly fighter. This legendary legion focuses on the key aspects of Saruman's forces, namely the sheer weight in numbers of the Uruk-hai and the siege engines they brought with them. To represent these features, all heroes can take an extra 6 models in their warbands. Isengard Ballista can reroll to hit and scatter, and demolition charges become far more reliable when detonating them. Siege equipment has never been so appealing. Could not agree more. It's an excellent legion, good fun to play, and people have started using it quite competitively and doing well with it. I know it was in a couple of the top tier armies at the 2020 Warhammer World GT. So we'll come back next with the hierarchy of heroes. And we're in with the hierarchy of heroes now. So we're going to start with, we're going to go through the 450, 600, 750 as usual. However, they will all be bunched into one. As you only have 2 types of hero in this list, the hierarchy is really small anyway. So at 450, 600 and 750 points, the order is Uruk-hai Captain, and then an Uruk-hai Shaman. If you go higher points than that, then just chuck in another captain. At 450, you're going to get 1 or 2 captains in, depending on how you want to build the list. 600, you're going to get 2 captains in, and at 750, you can get 2 captains and the Shaman if you want it. But that's essentially it. There's no other way to do it. I don't think you need a Shaman because of the courage, because of you do not know pain, you do not know fear, with the 66% courage tests. and you've got enough guys to take courage tests if you want to try and blow up the bomb anyway. So next we'll come back in with the army list. As usual, we will start with the 450 list, moving through 600 and 750. So straight away we'll move to 450 points. So you've got an Uruk-hai captain with shield, an Uruk-hai captain, 5 Uruk-hai warriors with shield, 4 Uruk-hai warriors with pike, 1 Uruk-hai warrior with a banner and a pike, 2 berserkers, 2 demolition teams with 4 flaming brands, and 1 assault ballista. So this has 22 models. It has a banner, it has a ballista for ranged threat, it has 2 demolition teams with 4 flaming brands. The flaming brands are really important for trying to set off the bomb, and it's worthwhile just taking a couple of extra when they're only a point each. It has 3 might, it has a heroic march, it has 4 berserkers, because you've got 1 per demolition team, and it's a fight 4, strength 4 army minimum, which is always very, very handy. I'm not sure how competitive this would be at 450 points. Your 2 demo teams are really going to threaten people, and your ballista is going to give you a bit of ranged capability. But other than that, not too sure. So we'll go on to 600. So 600, Warband 1, you have your Uruk-hai captain with shield. He's your big beefy one. You've got 4 Uruk-hai warriors with shields, 5 Uruk-hai warriors with pikes, 1 berserker and 1 demolition team with 2 flaming brands. Warband 2, you've got another Uruk-hai captain with shield. You've got 4 Uruk-hai with shield, 4 Uruk-hai with pikes. You've got 1 Uruk-hai warrior just by himself. You've got 1 Uruk-hai warrior with a banner, and you've got 2 berserkers. And then Warbands 3 and 4 are both assault ballistas. So this has 33 models. It's got a banner. It's got 2 ballistas, but it's only got 1 demolition team with 2 flaming brands. You have 6 might, 2 heroic marchers, 4 berserkers, because you've got 1 with the demolition team, and you've got a fight 4, strength 4 army minimum. I think this is really, really strong at 600 points. You've got big ranged threats who can easily take out objective capturing opponents. You've got ballistas who can also target heroes' horses. You can even hit the guy in front of them and catapult him through to knock the guy off the horse. And then you've got a demolition team for when they get close. And you've got a fight 4, strength 4 army, which is really, really good. So moving on to 750 points. I've got an Uruk-hai captain with a shield, 2 Uruk-hai warriors with shields, 3 Uruk-hai warriors with pikes, 1 berserker, 1 Uruk-hai warrior with crossbow, and 1 demolition team with 2 flaming brands. Warband 2 is the same. So you've got 1 Uruk-hai captain with shield, 2 Uruk-hai warriors with shield, 3 Uruk-hai warriors with pike, 1 berserker, 1 Uruk-hai warrior with a crossbow, and 1 demolition team with 2 flaming brands. Warband 3 is an Uruk-hai shaman with armour, 3 Uruk-hai warriors with shield, 3 Uruk-hai warriors with pike, 2 Uruk-hai warriors with crossbow, 1 Uruk-hai warrior with a banner and a pike. And when Warbands 4 and 5 are both assault ballistas again. So this has 38 models, which is not bad for 750 points. Probably a little on the low side, but you've got a lot of damage output with your 2 demolition teams and your ballistas. I've got 4 crossbows, 2 ballistas. So your crossbows can be there to sit on objectives. 2 demolition teams with 4 flaming brands. You've got 7 might, 2 heroic marchers. You now have your Uruk-hai shaman with your fury and your transfix if needed. You have 4 berserkers in the list, and your army is fight 4 and strength 4. Again, strong list. 2 demolition teams can really, really cause people problems, along with your 2 ballistas. All depends on terrain, etc. Definitely a strong list and could be competitive. Obviously, you can tweak it how you like for your own. So yeah, so they're my opinions on these lists and on this legion. Please comment, like, share and subscribe. I know there was a guy who saw the Defenders of Helm's Deep list and was happy for the insight, and I think it was his brother who was going to run this legion, so here's some helpful advice for you if you need. So yeah, please comment, like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.